How the devil are ya? Anyway, so back last year, I tried bi-wiring and bi-amping, and it didn't work. For me, there was no difference in sound. I couldn't tell a difference at all. Now, I used a pair of Wharfedale 12.1s to bi-wire with a Cambridge, I think, A1 amp. And then for the bi-amping, I used a Yamaha receiver. Now, trouble with most receivers under £1,000, they're just not powerful enough for bi-amping. I think bi-amping can work, but you need a very powerful receiver, because what it is, they're putting these bi-amping capabilities in these receivers, and it's just not giving enough juice. So it's really pointless. If you've got a receiver under £1,000 or 1,500, you know, the lower end of the receivers, it's unlikely that bi-amping is going to make any difference. Now, on the bi-wiring one I did, I had a few comments saying, the speakers are too small, they don't go low enough in bass. Could be, I don't know. The 12.1's a decent speaker, but they're a bookshelf. And then I had, no, you didn't do it properly. You should have used an amp with A and B speaker capability on it, possibly, potentially. Or another one was, just because you don't believe in wires, blah, 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 you know, use cheap cable. Now, I have done a video on whether cheaper cable sounds any different to more expensive cable, and I couldn't hear any difference, but there we are. But in any case, right, so what have I got? I've got 12 gauge, oxygen free, pure copper cable. Right, check one. Check two, I've got Wharfedale 230 towers with a lower bass frequency response. Check two. Okay, I have a Marantz amplifier that's got A and B speakers. Check three. So, what I'm going to do is bi-wire these Wharfedales using A and B speaker. Now, I'm not saying I was wrong the way I did it in the last video I did with bi-wiring. You can do it that way, and it recommends doing it that way in the manufacturer's instructions. Using single speaker connections. But anyway, it is what it is. I did it right. I followed the instructions in the manual. So there. Okay. So let's get it wired up, and then we'll do a sound test then to see if there's any difference. Okay, so on the back, you've got your speaker terminals and these binding posts here. These are your low frequencies. These two are your high frequencies. You have to remove the binding posts. Some companies actually put a wire running from there to there, and I would imagine that they tell you to remove that wire when you do bi-wiring. Some people were arguing with me on my last bi-wiring video that you're doing it all wrong, you don't remove the binding posts. Listen, I'm doing it exactly as Wharfedale telling me in the Wharfedale manual. I'm following the instructions to the letter, okay? So put down your keyboard, stop being a keyboard warrior, and just listen to what I'm saying. You've got to take these off. So you just loosen these off here, loosen your speaker terminals, and they just come off quick, pretty easy like this. Like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to loosen these off and put in my wires. Now, I've only got bare wire. I'm only doing this temporarily, okay? Ideally, if I was doing this on a permanent fixture, I would use banana plugs, especially in the back of the amp. I don't want any of these stray wires touching any of these. Like I said, that's not too bad on here, it's quite a big space, but on the amp, you're a bit more cramped for space on there. Right, so I'm just going to put the black one here, minus here, slap that in there, okay, and do that up. Stick the plus here, stick the red one in here, and we're ready to put the wires in the back of the amp then. Okay, and on the back, I've got my A and B speakers. So B are on the top and A is on the bottom. I don't know why it's that way around. And it actually says bi-wiring on the back. I didn't even know that was there. So I'm going to fix these into the black and red on this, on the left speaker. Now I'm putting it into the top here, simply because I want to keep it away from these down here. I don't want any, because when you've got it just the bare wire, there's always a possibility that one stray wire could untangle and touch this one and cause you problems, okay? I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to put it in the top here. And again, this is only temporary anyway. If I was doing it permanently, I would definitely get some banana plugs, especially for the back of the amp. Okay, I'll just do the other side now, and then we'll do a sound test. Okay, got it all wired up. Oh, right, now I'm going to be optimistic, not going to be pessimist, okay? Let's listen to the sound test and play it back and see what we think. reckon, eh? Well, look, first of all, if you listen to it with your phone speakers, slap yourself in the face. Do me a favour, right? Or a pair of crappy Logitech teeny little computer speakers. Put some headphones on, alright? Come on. You're never going to tell the difference otherwise. Now for me, I got some half decent headphones, they're pretty good. And my gosh, I could hear a little bit of a difference. And you know, for me, I am a skeptic when it comes to by wiring. I think it's, you know, I have in the past thought it's a bit of a waste of time. So for me, I'm the perfect person to test it. And I did hear a difference. That being said, it was very, very slight. I played the tracks back about 5 or 6 times just to check. And it was just for me, it was a very slight difference. Maybe a more open mid-range and treble with the by wiring. Just very minute. So it makes me think, is it worth bothering? You know what I mean? It's like, I can't be arsed with that. Potentially you could get a better result with more expensive speakers, a high-end, more powerful amp. Possibly, but for me, it's just not worth the hassle and having an extra wires all shoved behind my amplifier and speakers. But look, if you want to go ahead and do it and try it, there is a little bit of a difference. For me, it was. So, you know, if you want to do it, do it. It's totally up to you. If you think it makes a difference to your ears, then it's subjective, isn't it? It's all relative to your hearing. But for me personally, I wouldn't do it. Was there a difference? Very slight, but yes, it was. Anyway, so there you are. By wiring. This is my final video on it. I'm not going to do any more. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.